Well, good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana Weather. Wanted to bring you a quick forecast update on the storm chances today and tonight. Out to our west, a pretty potent low pressure and cold front system there moving through, and of course, it's already triggering off some severe thunderstorm warnings here in yellow. The watch here in yellow, and the tornado watch up there for northern Illinois, closer to where that low pressure is going, and you can see this rain as it's moving through now. Eventually, this will drag through here, but by the time it drags through tonight, not a huge concern. So today, maybe something isolated at best. Tonight, we have some chances of rain, small chances overnight, but not a whole lot. I don't expect any severe weather tonight. Now, as this pushes our way tomorrow, there is at least a marginal chance for some severe weather. Let me sort of shape it out, show you what I mean. If we take a look at our surface map, here's what's going on. You've got a low pressure system out to our west. There's the cold front that's trailing along with it. And as we move out in time here, you can see by the time the overnight hours come, by the time tomorrow morning comes, you see that cold front sort of knocking on our door. It really starts knocking on our door by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's whenever we really, I think, could see the biggest chance of some severe weather tomorrow if we do end up seeing any severe weather. By the time tomorrow evening comes, that cold front is pushing through, and then it'll be gone, and it looks like we've got a series of nice days coming up for the weekend after this is all moved through. But let's go ahead and time it out on future radar for you, give you an idea of what's going on. So here's what the storms are out to our west potentially. You can see by later tonight they might organize into a squall line here, but watch as we continue to put this into motion. And what you can see is that before they get here, here we are by midnight, and there's it's not an organized squall line anymore. It's very fast fading, and it's just some general showers as it moves through the area. Fades apart pretty quickly, and then by the time tomorrow comes, a large area of rain moves towards us. In fact, we've got maybe some showers and thunderstorms popping up ahead of the game here by the early afternoon hours, but then as we continue to put future radar into motion, does want to indicate some heftier storm cells starting to pop up later in the afternoon hours. Now, could these be severe? Could they not? Well, right now, not a huge risk of severe weather, but we'll talk about that in a second. Either way, the rain will start to move all out of there for Thursday, the way things look right now. Very isolated chances on Thursday morning, and it really looks like it'll be more clearing skies. Just to give you an idea of severe weather chances, well, in order to get severe weather, you need three things. You got to have some sort of a triggering mechanism. That comes in the approach of a cold front, so we've got that covered. You also need instability and wind energy. Now, wind energy tomorrow, it will be there, but it's sort of subpar. So to put this into motion, you can see not a lot of wind energy going on today, but as that cold front starts to draw tomorrow, notice you got the shades of blue and even some of the shades of white and a hint of green every once in a while starting to pass over the area here. And really it starts to fade off, but by the time the cold front approaches tomorrow, you've got maybe just enough wind energy here near the cold front to sort of sustain some storms. So the wind energy here, it's subpar. I'm not going to lie about it. It's not a fantastic wind energy, but it is there enough that a few storms could go severe with that. Instability would be the other issue. You can see by the time tomorrow afternoon comes, we're starting to get some instability here. And the NAM really, the high-res NAM model really wants to just bake us with the instability. And of course, the reason it does that is it's banking on its future satellite product showing more of a mostly sunny sky early on in the day. Now, I think that's a far stretch. The truth of the matter is we're probably going to get a lot of cloud debris from the system that's out to our west tonight. Historically, what we see happen whenever you've got a system like this overthrough, let me just throw the satellite on there right now, and you can see we're sort of under a partly sunny sky right now, but all of this cloud debris will come over us tomorrow, and that is going to be very hard to clear out here for tomorrow afternoon. And historically, the models want to clear it out way faster than it does and lead to more instability than it does. With that additional cloud cover, that's going to be hard pressed to get some severe weather tomorrow. So for that reason, the Storm Prediction Center has removed us from the slight risk and went with a marginal risk of severe weather for tomorrow. That equates to only a 5% chance. The slight risk now very far up to our north here in Michigan, really closer to where that low pressure is. And I think that's a reasonable call. Honestly, I'm not sure a slight risk is justified tomorrow. That isn't to say that we won't get severe weather. There could be a couple of stronger storms possible with these, but I'm not expecting an outbreak by any means. And it really, again, the wind energy is there on a subpar level, and there could be enough instability that one or two storms could briefly go severe, pulse up before they go back down. But I don't see this as a major organized threat. I agree with them. I think the call of a marginal risk for tomorrow is most certainly the right one. Now, behind this cold front, much more pleasant weather is on the way. We take a look at your 16-day temp spread here. We got a hot day today. We got a little bit of a warm one tomorrow, but then by this might not even make it out of the 70s from the way things look on Thursday. Slides to rebound a little bit, but then you can see a sort of an up and down. And really, you notice we're already into September by the time you get out to here. Notice the absence of the 90s. And if you think, boy, this has been an unusual August, it has. We've only broken 90 degrees one time, and that was on August 3rd. Now, in a normal year, I didn't go back and look, but in a normal year, you can bank on us having multiple days in the 90s during July and August, right? And that's just what a normal year is for us. And of course, this has been a much milder summer than what we have seen some summers anyway. Not terribly cold, not terribly cool. We haven't been stuck in the 70s, but low to mid 80s. That's not bad for summer weather at all. We'll certainly take that. Question then: how will that trend in as we head in towards the fall and winter? Right now, you've probably heard about a Godzilla El Nino, and I really hate these terminologies, by the way. And it was used by it's used by a climate scientist out at NASA. And honestly, the guy I think should have known better than to use a term like this. It's just a little bit too much hype, too much sensationalism for me. He's trying to use it to describe that it's going to be El Nino potentially record-breaking. We've never seen one this high. I get it, but we don't. There's also no reason to hype up panic at this point. You've probably already seen some things showing up on your social media accounts of how we're going to have a Godzilla El Nino, and I'm already seeing TV stations and other amateur forecasters and all kinds of people say, well, it's probably going to lead to a very mild winter for us. Well, hold on. Let me back off on that just for a minute. I don't want to dwell on this long, but I do want a word of caution. Right now, it's August 18th. It's too early to issue a winter forecast. What we do see is an El Nino, and yes, it looks like it peaks somewhere right about the beginning of November, according to what the models are showing right now. And it starts to rapidly decline as we get into the winter months. Keep that in mind. Typically, an El Nino, whenever it produces a mild winter for us, is strengthening through the winter months, not on a rapid decline. So that's going to be an interesting thing. The other thing that we've got working for us is I want you to think with me, what was the cause of that I've identified the past couple of years of our, well, last winter wasn't too bad in about December. By the time late January and into February got kicked in, boy, it was ridiculously cold around here. It's this warm pool of water that we had up off the Gulf of Mexico. It creates a ridge in the west, and it forces the jet stream in order to take a nosedive over us. This is the El Nino that you see right down here. El Nino is, of course, just an abnormal warming of the waters off the coast of South America. Well, in a normal El Nino year, we don't have this warm water up here. In fact, if you compare it to, say, 97, 98, which is the last big time El Nino that we had, and we got burned with a very mild winter. We didn't have this warm water off the coast of Alaska. So all of this warm water, it's, by the way, it's what we call a positive PDO, Pacific Decadal Oscillation. If you really wanted to research it more, that is going to interact and be another player along with the El Nino. The point is, we can't just point to one factor and say, well, Godzilla El Nino, that means we're going to have a mild winter, or a positive PDO, that means we're going to have a harsh winter again. Somehow these two are going to interact with each other. It's going to be wait and see over the next 2 or 3 months to sort of see how they are interacting with each other and how that will affect us later on. I will tell you this, even though we've got a very strong El Nino going on right here, the positive PDO has been winning, and that is what is directly responsible for our cool summer that we have had more than anything. This El Nino has brought a lot of moisture to us. You remember the 14 plus inches of rain that we had over a couple of month span there in May and June, early in July, right around in there. But, again, the cool summer, by cool, you look at current temperatures outside, well, this is a lot cooler than it could be. We're stuck at 82 degrees in Huntingburg, 85 in Evansville, only 83 there in Louisville. That's ridiculously cool for 3:51 p.m. during the afternoon on a summer day. Well, that is directly responsible because of this warm water. So keep that in mind. It's something that we will look out for as we go through, continue on. But I will say this, I'm not ready to issue a winter forecast yet. I will issue one, but it will be later in November. And folks, the bottom line is I don't see this being just a nice warm winter all winter long. If anything, I think we're going to be facing some wild temperature swings. And I will say this, some of the biggest snowstorms we've had came during El Nino years. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of details to work out. I don't see a necessarily mild winter going for us. I don't see a brutal, harsh winter of 2012 again. somewhere in between is probably where we're going to land. I'm going to be working on my forecast over the next couple of months before I release it. But know this, if you're looking at all these forecasts this far out advancing, it's going to be another brutal winter, or it's going to be another mild winter. Folks, it's too soon to know. Just take it with a grain of salt. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at your forecast here, southernindianaweather.com. Again, anything that we see today is going to be isolated. Might become more of a scatter than isolated overnight. I probably should change that as we get the blow off from the storms moving here, but it's going to be breaking apart as it moves our way overnight. By the time tomorrow comes, though, I think we're going to stay a mostly cloudy day. I don't expect to see a lot of sunshine. That should help to limit our instability. That's a good thing. That should keep storms in check. 82 is about as high as we're going to go. Again, I don't even think we're going to make it out of the 70s on Thursday. Isolated showers and thunderstorms through midday, possibly. But some of the models, as I showed you, are wanting to speed this thing out even faster. And that may even need to come out of the forecast. But it'll be clearing skies after that. Then a nice weekend comes into the play before we get some more rain chances again. But again, as I've said, noticeably absent. No 90s in the forecast. Right now, we've just got some very pleasant weather on the way. We just have to get this cold front out of the way first. All right, folks, that is it. We'll keep an eye on this as it heads our way through the day tomorrow. Just keep it tuned here to Southern Indiana Weather for more details. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Have a great day.